right after this, I'll shoot you a DM back. Yeah, so don't worry, I got you. So, how are we feeling, guys? Pretty solid day so far. Now we get to kind of relax. We get to trade our prop firms. I love using this session as just a chill session, guys. We just kind of hang out. We look for good setups. We're trading micros. This is our time to relax. This is our time to kind of sit back, and kind of reflect on the day and still look for some good trades in the market, right? So I'm completely out of this trade here. Ended up selling at about 470 something ticks. But great morning. I don't know if any of you guys did any of you guys end up holding with me? I don't know if anybody held that trade with me all the way down. But yeah, I never got stopped out. I moved my stop 130 ticks into profit and never got hit, so that was nice. And then we ended up dropping, and once we started to see this pullback, I decided to just kind of get out at 470 ticks, take my profit, and go. So now we're going to start focusing on our prop firms. So guys, overall on our prop firms in the first week and yesterday, we are currently up. My account is currently up. Remember, I'm copy trading them, so both accounts are up $578 over basically the first week. Okay, so pretty good start for our prop firms. We're going to try to continue this this winning streak. Continue to manage our risk the right way. And there's no timeline that I ever set for passing a prop firm. It's just when it happens, it happens. As long as you keep that consistency, you can make it happen, right? As long as you continue to trade the right way. I really don't care if this takes me 20 days to pass. I don't care if it takes me 10 days to pass. I don't care if it takes me 30 days to pass. As long as I'm trading consistently with good risk management, that's all I care about, right? Taking good trades. And remember, the money will follow as long as you stick to that plan. As long as you stick to that plan, the money will follow. So we don't need to focus on the dollar amount. Let's just focus on taking the right trades, okay? But I do want to keep you guys updated on what the account's at, so that you can see what's possible with trading micros, right? We don't need to trade minis, right? Trading micros still offers us a ton of opportunity, guys. A ton of opportunity, right? So let's see what we're doing in the market right now. If you guys were on my educational session, we just talked about order blocks and breaker blocks. So that's why you see these kind of lined up. All right, so we had this 1 minute order block here. And it's funny because right after our session, I don't remember. Yeah, I ended our session right around 1 o'clock. And look what happened. We bounced right off the order block I called out during that session talking about order blocks. And we come back down, right? So up here, this is actually a 1 minute bearish breaker. Right here, this right here is our 1 minute order block. 1 minute minus OB, right? Minus OB means bearish order block. Right, so we still have targets, sell side targets, okay? We still have this low that hasn't got taken out. This was that low that I was targeting the whole day. Remember from that trade I was in, from the shorts, I was targeting this low. We still haven't reached it, but we are now sitting in this 15-minute order block that we formed. We touched up into that 15-minute fair value gap, that breakaway gap, and then we dropped again. Right, so now we're kind of seeing, are we going to get that lunchtime, that post-lunch reversal? Are we going to try to fill some gaps, or are we going to continue this trend to the downside? Are we going to continue this trend to the downside, right? Hourly, extremely bearish. Maybe we create equal lows here on the hourly, and we do get that reversal pattern, and we maybe catch some longs to fill some of our imbalances. Or maybe we continue this downward trend, and we can catch some shorts, right? So if we look at the 5 minute, we're pretty much just consolidating right now. We did form this 5 minute fair value gap, bullish fair value gap here, and we are bouncing off that level. You guys can see right here. Look at us bounce, 5 minute busy. So we are bouncing. We're starting to form that reversal pattern. So let's say we displace this high up here. That would be a 5 minute bullish breaker. Then we could look for longs to try to kind of catch them up. What we could do is, I don't think we're going to go back to a premium on the day. We might. But we could see if we do go back to a premium from our high this morning to our low. We'll use our fib. Right from the top. Oops. From here all the way up to here. Right, so our 50% is right up at this 15-minute fair value gap we see up here. So maybe we do end up trying to retrace and fill some of these gaps back up to our premium of our morning range. I don't know if we're going to see that much retracement, but if we do get this bullish reversal pattern on the 5 minute, if we get a 5 minute bullish breaker, I will look to take us long, take this trade long back up, maybe try to get back up into a premium. But we'll see, because we still have a lot of resistance here. We have this huge 15 and 5 minute bearish fair value gap. We have this 15 and 5 minute order block up here. So we have a lot of levels that can still push us down, right? But if we start to form that market structure shift, like if we displace this high here, that's a bullish market structure shift, bullish breaker. I would look to take it long. I would look to take it long, because this would be a smart money reversal here, right? Smart money reversal. So, good question. Where would that breaker be? So it's our highest up close candle on the first high to low, low to high, right? So it's this one right here. So I'm going to kind of get rid of this 1 minute real quick. So it would be this candle here would be our bullish breaker on the 5 minute. Okay, so it's kind of a lot. So our risk management might be a little tough. But we want to see us displace this high as well. But the highest up close candle, that's our breaker. So if we did close above that breaker, I don't think I would even wait for us to close above this one. I would probably look to take longs. But we can also look at the 1 minute time frame and use the 1 minute for entries, right? Because we also are trying to form a 1 minute bullish breaker. So if we came up and took out this high up here, then our breaker on the 1 minute would be this up close candle here. And if we would trade back into it, we could also look to take that long. But again, we still are very bearish on the day. So the only time I'm looking for longs is if we get that market structure shift, because we do have what looks like a smart money reversal here with this breaker block forming. No, an order block can be respected multiple times. It can continue to act as support or resistance. It doesn't become invalidated until it's closed above or closed below. Yeah, so I want to see Trotch on the 5 minute here, because that's going to give me that extra confidence. If I was going to be a little more aggressive on this trade, I would only wait for that Trotch on the 1 minute, right? Which means change of character, right? That break of structure, market structure shift. That's kind of more aggressive. But yeah, if this 5 minute closes right now, like we'd want to see it close above this high. But if we close above this high, I would start to look to take longs. If we, but right now we're not going to get that shift yet. We're not getting that break of structure just yet. So we'll see on this next 5 minute candle what we do. So we might need to wait another 5 minutes, or we'll see what this 1 minute time frame does. Yeah, I can definitely talk about inverse fair value gaps. Yeah, we could talk about inverse. So look at this 1 minute pushing up though, guys. We're about to get that displacement. So this 1 minute breaker would be this candle right here. This is the 1 minute breaker. Right? 1 minute bullish breaker. Right? So if we were going to be aggressive, we would wait for this 1 minute to displace this high, and then we'd wait for retracement into the breaker, and we would take it long. Yes, a close above, exactly. If we wanted to be more conservative, we would wait for the 5 minute to close above this high, and then for us to retrace back into the 5 minute breaker down here, right? So do you realize why we have not entered in a trade? Remember, breakouts can be fake outs sometimes, so that's why I always wait for displacement before I get into my trades. Almost always. Right? Unless I'm being extremely aggressive and I really, really, really believe that trade's going to go my way, I'm going to wait for displacement. Because if you don't wait for displacement, you can get faked out so many times. Like, you can get faked out so often if you're not waiting for that displacement, right? Like right now, if you were just to get in off the break of that high, you would be stopped out already. You'd be stopped out probably already because you didn't wait for displacement, right? You didn't wait for displacement, so you always, I always wait for it because look, we touched back up into that 15-minute. Remember what I said, we're still bearish. So I'm still short bias until we can break structure. Just because I'm looking for a long setup doesn't mean I'm long biased just yet. I'm still bearish biased until we get a break of structure to the upside. Okay? So we're going to see what happens on this 5-minute candle. About 3 minutes left on it. I mean, you can see the 1 minute. Right? We haven't formed that bullish breaker on either time frame. We came up, swept liquidity, and dropped. Right? We came up into, we're in that 15-minute order block still. We wick above, we grab liquidity in that fair value gap, and we drop. Right? So this 15 minutes about to close, the 5 minutes about to close. So both of these candles are going to tell us a lot about what price is going to do next. Right? If we continue to drop after this liquidity grab and price respects this order block here, I think the shorts will continue this trend. Right? I think the shorts would continue that trend. I'll always start off with half a position, and then I'll add into a full depending on how quick we're moving. Right? If we start to move with aggressive momentum, I'll start to add into a full. Yeah, I mean, all of our time frames right now are still looking very bearish. Pretty much every time frame is looking bearish right now. We're also creating these equal lows down here, so we still have this target. I still think overall we're bearish, right? But we're just waiting to see this 5 and 15-minute close to give us that confirmation on, are the shorts going to continue, or are we going to get some retracement back up in the market, try to refill some of our imbalances. Right, so that's kind of what we're waiting for right now. So I'm not going to rush into trades. I'm going to be patient. We're going to wait for the right setup. 1 hour order block. Yes, we are in. Well, actually, yeah, we're in this 1 hour order block right here. So this is a 1 hour order block. This candle, because we saw that strong displacement back up. Right, so we're still in that. We're trying to kind of push through. We almost displaced it, but we didn't fully displace that order block. Right, so like I said earlier, that's why I sold my position down here from that earlier trade, because we were in this order block. I saw us bouncing. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take my profit because it's a strong support level, right? And so far, that was a pretty good move on my part, right? To take that profit. I'm happy I took it there because we've started to kind of push from here. So let's see this 15 minutes closing in about 10 seconds. We'll see if it still respects this order block or if it's going to try to close above. There we go. So it still respected this 15-minute order block. Strong wick up, grabbing liquidity, drop. So now we're going to see what happens. We're in a 1 minute bullish trend. Right, we're in a small 1 minute bullish trend. So what we could look for is a 1 minute bearish breaker, right? If we're going to try to take shorts, wait for price to take out this low. This becomes a bearish breaker, we take it short. Right? That's why I'm kind of waiting for either one to happen. I'm looking for longs or shorts right now. I don't, my bias on the day is still bearish, but I'm waiting for a break of structure on either side to confirm what trade I want to go into. Remember, if we break above and displace the highs and form a 5 minute breaker, bullish breaker, I'm looking for longs. But if this proves to be a liquidity sweep and we drop and we take out these lows, I'm looking for shorts, right? So we're at that point right now where this could be a reversal. Right? Because of this pattern we formed right here, this could be a reversal. So that's why I'm still thinking that longs can be a possibility. Right? So I'll keep, this is kind of the mindset I come in with every single trade every day. Is I have my overall bias. Excuse the voice crack there. I have my overall bias, but I'm able to adjust my plan based on how market structure looks at the time, the time I'm trading. Because we haven't had any real reversal or retracement in the market today since we got this crazy drop, right? I mean, we had some retracement here, nothing too crazy, but we've been very aggressive. So sometimes after lunch or around lunchtime, you kind of want to be on the lookout for that reversal. And when you see this pattern form right here, this is a typical reversal pattern, smart money reversal, where we form a low, a high, lower low, and we pump, right? That's that bullish breaker reversal pattern. So that's why I've been thinking that longs could be in play. But you haven't seen me take a trade because we have not displaced. So that's why I'm being very, very patient right now. All right, we're waiting for a break of structure on either side. A change of character more, and that's when I'll look for. That's when I'll look for a setup. But like I say every session, if I don't see a setup, I won't trade. If I don't see a setup, I won't trade. Remember, sometimes sitting on the sideline is better than taking losing trades. Right? But if you see a setup and you like it, then take it. Then I'm going to take it. But I'm not going to force a trade in this area because I don't see anything clear right now. To me, there's nothing clear until I see just kind of a breakout of this range on either side. All right, and that's why I'm just waiting patiently. We're gonna see what happens. I think we might start to see some volume pick up a little bit. Hopefully in the next few minutes. Heading into our next hour, I'm hoping we start to see some volume pick up. Because right now it's very slow. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more movement in the market. Yeah, so patience, guys. Patience pays off. It pays off. We saw that this morning. We took a losing trade, and then we were very patient, waited for a setup, and it paid off because we waited and we didn't force any trades. We didn't revenge trade. We waited for another A+ setup. We found that setup, and it offered us a huge reward, right? But I just know from personal experience, because I've been there, that a good amount of you have been trading all of this stuff. A good amount of you are probably in a trade right now, right? And you've probably gotten stopped out a few times. I don't know. This could be true. This could be not true. But from my personal experience, I know I used to do this, where in slow moving markets with a lot of chop, I would go in long, and then I would go in short when I get stopped out. Then I would go in long, then I would go in short. And I'm just forcing trades that aren't there because I'm just hoping to catch the breakout. I'm just hoping that I get a good move. That to me, that's just a terrible way to trade, and I had to learn the hard way to stop doing that, right? Like, wow, another voice crack. I'm going through puberty, guys. But yeah, I had to learn that the hard way. And sometimes, guys, I'll still catch myself starting to get in that mindset of like, oh, just trade, just take a trade. And it's like that inner dialogue, in your brain telling you that you need to trade. And I just have to fight that off, You got to fight that off. But that comes with discipline, that comes with training. To be able to fight that temptation, right? Yeah, exactly. It's just not worth it. Okay, so now we're starting to get that break of structure to the upside, right? We're starting to form, like I remember how I always say those order blocks that form with our breaker patterns are fantastic entries, right? Our order blocks that overlap, our fair value gaps that overlap our breakers are great entries. Okay, so now we're getting that break of structure. So now I'm starting to think longs could be the play, right? Now I'm starting to think longs could be the play. In terms of contract size for a 50K account, guys, if you know how to manage your risk the right way, you could trade 5 to 6 micros. But if you struggle with risk management, I would keep it under 4 micros. I would keep it under 4 micros. And it just depends on how good are you at explaining not at explaining, but how good are you at risk management? Right? Do you cut your losers? Do you add to your winners? If you do, you can trade a little bit more. But if you don't know how to do that yet, then personally, what I would do is I would stay in really small. Let's see here. We still have not broken structure. We haven't gotten that market structure shift yet because we have not closed above these highs. Okay, so we haven't even gotten a 1 minute market structure shift just yet. We're trying to right now. Right, and if we do, we could wait for the 5 minute to close, which is in like 2 more minutes. That would be the smart move here, is to wait for the 5 minute to close and then take this breaker long, right? Or the more aggressive play would be we just displaced this high, so now this becomes a 1 minute breaker. So we just formed this 1 minute breaker right here, right? And if we start to see a reaction off this level, this could be a level to take long, right? This could be a level to take long. So let's see how we react here. Risk management could be pretty good. Could keep like a 40 tick stop, up to this 1 minute breaker for first TP. All right, I'm gonna test it out, guys. I'm gonna test it out with half a lot off this 1 minute breaker. I just got an entry 17,726.50. Wow, a lot higher of an entry than I wanted. But our risk management can still be decent. 50 tick stop underneath our 1 minute breaker. 17,714 is my stop. I'm still only in half a lot, guys. I have not added into a full lot yet. I have not added into a full lot. So basically what we'd want to target is the bottom of this breaker, right? So like 56 ticks here. And remember, this is more of an aggressive entry because we didn't wait for 5 minute displacement. We only got 1 minute displacement. So this is still aggressive. This is still assuming that we're going to try to pump from here. Okay, but I still like the entry overall. And I do think that we have potential to pump. Right, we have the 5 minute closing here in about 20 seconds, so it's a good pump so far. Remember, targeting kind of this 1 minute breaker. I think we'll try to push through this 1 minute breaker if we continue to get that momentum. All right, so this 5 minutes about to close here. We're about to displace on the 5 minute. Pretty solid entry. It could have been a lot better. It's kind of higher than I wanted, but not too bad. So now we formed that 5 minute breaker. So again, we might want to come back down into this 5 minute breaker block, right? So if you want to wait for a re-entry and maybe get out here, you could. I'm going to continue to hold this trade, and if we do end up coming back down and stopping me out, then I'll just get a re-entry. Right, but so far we're in the profit, and so far we've had a good reaction. We've had displacement. So, I like this setup. I like this entry. My entry is 17,726.50. There we go. So we're starting to pump. So our 1-to-1 would be 50 ticks. Would be, we're almost at a 1-to-1. We just hit 43 ticks. So, but since I only went in half a lot, I'm just going to hold this trade for now. All right, and we'll see what happens. If we do end up coming back down and getting another reaction, I'll add into a full. Yes, I keep forgetting to log into my Trade-O-Vate. Sorry, guys. I need to remember to do that. So remember, guys, now we're back into that. We're touching back into this 1 minute breaker. We're about to. Remember, we have this 5 minute breaker here that now we just touched into. So this could be a point that I add. If we start to see a reaction, I'll add into a full. If we start to see movement up, I'm going to add. Okay, I just added into a full there. I just added into a full position. I'm going to move my stop loss up a little bit. I'm going to move my stop loss up. So now my entry is at 17,727.50. Okay, so my entry moved up. So now I'm going to move my stop loss up to about 45 ticks at 17,716.25. So now I'm in a full. And now my first TP is going to be literally 52 ticks at the entry of this 1 minute breaker up here. So at 17,740.50, that's my first TP. That's my first TP. It's more than a 1-to-1. Okay, so it's still a good, decent risk to reward. Just above a 1-to-1. Right, so I like that we bounced off that 5 minute bullish breaker. We bounced off our 1 minute bullish breaker. We got a chance to add into a full off that retracement. So now we'll just wait and see if we get, that follow through on this trade. Right, and if we do push up really aggressively, we hit my first TP, then I'll move my stop to break even, and I'll continue to try to hold this trade through this 1 minute breaker, possibly up to these highs. Right, but we're going to need to see a lot of bullish momentum step in here. We're going to need to see a lot of bullish momentum because we still are in this bearish fair value gap, right? We're still in a bearish fair value gap, so we still have resistance here. So we really got to see price start to step in. We got to see the long start to step in from here. Because there's still room for us to retrace because this 5 minute breaker comes all the way down to here, right? So we could retrace all the way back down. Okay, so that's potential, but I still want to get this entry because we got the breaker structure. We have a 1 minute bullish breaker. We touched our 5 minute bullish breaker. So I'm still going to test it out, right? And like I said, if this does stop me out here, then I'll look for a re-entry. So we're going to see what happens. 45 tick stop, full position. Let's see if we can get a reaction back to the upside. See if we can hit our first TP. Right, we see us trying to push through a little bit, but we're seeing that reaction off our breaker, right? So, we got displacement. That's all I needed to see. Right, we could have waited for 15-minute displacement, which we have 1 more minute left on the 15. Right, but on this trade, I didn't want to wait for 15-minute displacement. I wanted to wait for that 5 minute. Right, and now we see, remember, first TP is right here. 52 ticks, okay? 52 ticks. I'm in 6 MNQ contracts, right, on 2 accounts. So both accounts, I'm trading 6 MNQ contracts right now. 6 MNQ. Okay, so we'll see if this one plays out here. 15 minute. All right, we displaced on the 15 minute. That's good. We displaced on the 15 minute. Good sign. But we just got to see continuation now. Hopefully this turns into a 5 minute order block where we displace this order block. Right? And continue to push up, continue this bullish trend. There's a lot of potential in this trade here. So if that momentum picks up here, I think we will run through that first TP, and I think we'll try to push up even past our bearish breaker here, maybe up to these highs up top. Remember, guys, 1-to-1 is only 45 ticks, so if you want to take a 1-to-1 at 45, you could take a 1-to-1. You could hold up to 52 ticks like me. Personal preference there. That's personal preference. Okay, that's a good push right there. Remember, if we take out my first TP, I'll move my stop to break even. I want to see us continue to push through with momentum. I want to see us displace this high, continue that bullish trend we're forming. There we go. We're starting to see it step in. We're almost at our first TP here. We are very close to our first TP. We're above a 1-to-1, so if you want to sell half, you could sell half. I'm waiting for my limit order to get hit. And there's our first TP. Stops moving to break even. There we go. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. You could even sell your full position here if you want to just scalp it. But seeing this momentum, I want to keep holding. I want to keep holding possibly all the way up to these highs. Right? Possibly up to these highs up top. Because again, remember, we have our premium up here at this 0.5. So if we continue to displace, right, we could keep going. Maybe this is just, we're going to get a reaction off that 1 minute breaker here. Maybe we're going to bounce back down. We'll see. Either way, it's a winning trade at this point. So we're in the profits no matter what. Stops at break even. Now we let this one run. It's another win in the books for us, guys. Another win in the books. Now let's see if this one will run and give us some more profit here. There we go. There we go. If we can push through this breaker, I do believe we'll go for these highs. We do have this 15-minute order block here. It's going to be hard to push through this. So if you remember, if you want to take your full profit, feel free to do that. This is all personal preference on how you want to handle these trades. You don't have to do what I'm doing. We just hit 68 ticks, right? So you could always scalp it. You could always get out fully, or continue to hold, right? Whatever you want to do. We continue to displace our highs, so that's why I'm still holding. But we do have a lot of resistance up here, right? A lot of resistance that could push us back down. So, right, like if you want to get out, you can. Personally, I'm going to keep holding this one. Because even if I get stopped at break even, I still win this trade. So I'm down to hold this, right? Because this trade could potentially, you know, push us up closer to $1,000 profit on this prop firm, right? On both of these prop firms, right? So this is a trade that has potential to keep running all the way up to these highs. You know, that lunchtime reversal like I talked about. So I'm going to keep letting it run. Gonna keep letting it run here. We'll see what happens. We are struggling at this 1 minute order block though. This 1 minute breaker block, sorry. This is the first time we've touched into this breaker, so you know we could definitely bounce from here. We'll see what happens. We're seeing a lot of struggle, a lot of long wicks to the upside. But we're still displacing, right? We've displaced this high. We formed this order block. So, you know, we have a bullish trend. We had a smart money reversal here. We're forming this. If we close above this 5 minute order block here, guys, we're going to pump. We might retrace back into this 5 minute, and we're going to pump probably all the way to these highs. Right? So that's why I'm holding. That's why I'm holding. Let's see if this one will keep running. Remember, guys, let your runners run. Let your runners run. Especially with these prop firms, you know. If you can let these runners run sometimes, you're going to be able to catch way more profits, and, you know, then maybe you'll pass an account faster than you thought you would have. Because now you're catching these trades that you let run, and you just made way more profit than what you thought. But you always want to take your profit. Always want to take your profit, move that stop to break even, make it a risk-free trade. So like I said, now we have this 5 minute order block here. We displaced it very aggressively. So I'd like to see us trade back into this and pump from here. So like this could be a part, you know, a trade that we add into right here. But since I haven't, you know, since I already took profit in my break evens here, I'm not going to add into this one. Because we are pretty close to my break even right now. So we'll see what happens here. We will see what happens. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, right? I'm about to get stopped out. This 1 minute and 5 minute breakers, right? So this is a 5 minute unicorn here, which is why I was saying we could see very strong resistance from this level. All right, so I'm out at break even. So another winning trade there. Right, but we have this strong displacement up, 5 minute order block. So if we react off this order block, we might still see us go long here. We'll see what happens. Still a good trade. Right, took profit at 52 ticks. Break even stop, not too bad. I was willing to let that one run. So yeah, like you said, we do have this 5-minute unicorn, right, that we are seeing a very strong reaction off of right now. I wouldn't take shorts until I actually saw us displace this 5-minute order block here. If we displace this 5-minute order block, I'd think about shorts. But when we form a reversal pattern like this, and we have a premium just above with liquidity, I typically will not try to short this until I actually see us displace back down to the lows. But if we do displace these lows, right, then that's when I would start looking for shorts. But so far we have not done that. Yeah, this would be a re-entry level. It's just too strong of a bearish candle right now for me to want to enter, but you know, especially after already taking profits there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, this is too much bearish momentum for me to get in the longs yet. I would really need to see a strong reaction first. All right, because look how aggressively we're moving down. We're trying to displace this 5-minute right now. So I'm going to kind of wait and be patient. Let's see what happens. 2 minutes left on that 5-minute candle. Okay, so now we're starting to try to displace here. But we are touching, so we're kind of bouncing from, breaker to breaker, right? We have a 5-minute bearish breaker, a 5-minute bullish breaker. So who's going to win this fight is the question. Who's going to win this fight? We kind of have to wait for our 5-minute candle to close here to kind of see who is going to win this fight, right? Or get a better idea of which way this market's going to go now. Because we are bouncing off both breakers. Right, and look at that reaction there. Look at that reaction off that breaker. Pretty strong bounce off our 1-minute and 5-minute bullish breakers there, right? Pretty strong bounce. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to take any more entries just yet. I want to wait at least 50 more seconds to see how this 5-minute candle closes. This 5-minute will tell us a lot. Like, are we going to respect this 5-minute order block here, respect this breaker, or are we going to displace and try to continue to push down? If we displace and continue to try to push down, that's when we can look for shorts. But I won't look for shorts until that happens. Ten seconds left here. And this is also a 5-minute bullish unicorn. Look how we have a fair value gap overlapping right here. So we're literally bouncing from unicorn to unicorn. That's kind of a funny thing. I never thought I would say that when I was younger. It's not really a phrase you would expect to say in your future. Bouncing from unicorn to unicorn. Very sus. So like that's why you don't really see me taking any trades right now, because we still respected this order block. We're still at this unicorn here. So I'm gonna kind of wait, kind of sit back, see what's going on, see what happens here. Also the 1-minute unicorn here. Right, if we continue to bounce from here, I'll probably try to take this long again. I like that we opened down and we started to bounce, but again, we gotta see that. We gotta see us start pushing up pretty aggressively for me to even think about longs. We're getting a little volatile right now. A little volatile. Right, even here you could look at 1 minute displacement of this low. We still haven't displaced. We still haven't displaced, but we're looking like we're kind of trying to right now. But notice how much support we're seeing here off this bullish breaker. Every time we try to push through, we're showing a lot of support. We're showing bounce. We're showing reaction. Right, but we're kind of a little too erratic right now for me to enter in any trades. A little too erratic. All right, we just got to kind of see who's gonna win this, the bullish breaker or the bearish breaker. Right, on a daily, if you're thinking daily, you're thinking, well, the bearish breaker should win, right? But if we're thinking about our discount and premium, then I'm thinking the bullish breaker is going to win because we're going to try to come back up into a premium, grabbing buy side liquidity. Fifteen minute kind of looks bearish here. 5 minute, we're kind of just waiting. All right, if we start to see a strong move back up off this bullish unicorn, I'll look to get another entry in the longs. But it's got to be very good. Our premium is up here at 17,785.50. So the way I found that was our high from this morning to the low from today. Right, this is our premium of our daily range, is up here. Right in the middle of this big old fair value gap with buy side liquidity. So on a typical day, you would want to see price go back up to a premium, but because we're so bearish today, we might not do that. Right? We might not do that. So, on the 1 minute time frame, we're looking like we're a little bearish, but we're kind of struggling here to pick a direction right now. All right, this 1 minute order block could be a decent, right? Like if we didn't have this bullish breaker, down here, I would probably be taking the shorts right now. I'd probably be in a short position right now. Right, but because we have this bullish breaker, it's keeping me from doing that. Right, but because we formed this bearish 1 minute breaker here, we have a 1 minute order block, we're trading up into it, reacting. That's why, like, I'm starting to think, shorts might start to step in. But because we have this 5 minute breaker here, it's really keeping me from shorting this market right now. Right, this is exactly why. $15-minute close, bearish. Let's see if we start to pump. We did close below the fair value gap here, so the unicorn's no longer respected. The breaker's still being respected though. Right, if we start to pump up aggressively again, I'll think about longs one more time. But we're just so caught in between that I don't want to force a trade while we're in between these two levels. Just want to make sure the right setup shows itself, if I'm going to take another trade here. I'd rather just kind of take my profits for the day and walk away than force a bad trade, right? Keep it simple. And that's why I always talk about stop thinking about 100 different entry models at one time. Just keep it simple. But it's also taken me a long time to get to this point to where I don't overanalyze. But that's why people second guess themselves so much in trading, is because they think about so many different things at once to where they can't get a clear and concise bias. You gotta simplify. You gotta simplify it. You find your daily bias, you break down from higher time frame to lower time frame, and you wait for your entry models. You take those entry models according to your bias. That's all I do. It's simple, right? It's not easy, but it can be simple. Just try to focus on, just a little bit. Obviously, when I first started studying, I was overanalyzing everything because there was so much information to take in. So that's what I did, is I just broke down all that information into what I find valuable, and that's all I look for. All right, now that's my style. Boom, boom. Just kind of chopping right now. Still kind of chopping. Looks like we're trying to head down though. We just got to push through. If we're going to head down, it's got to push through this breaker, like I said. So, I'm not really looking to take anything just yet. Not really looking to take anything. Just kind of want to wait and be patient. All right, I could have forced like 5 different trades in this, and I might have gotten stopped out of most of them, or it just to me it's just not worth it. I'm not going to trade consolidation. I'm going to wait for clear direction. Wait for something to happen. Like I said, if this 1 minute comes down and closes below, then I'll start looking for some sell side, right? I'll start looking for shorts. Look at this 15 minute. 15 minutes looking pretty bearish here. So we are looking pretty bearish. Yeah, look at that. So now we'll see, is this 1 minute going to displace here? Will this 1 minute candle displace our bullish breaker? Or is it going to do something like this? All right, there's a lot of manipulation going on right now. We've been seeing this a lot lately. Remember guys, we have FOMC tomorrow. We're probably going to see a lot of manipulation in this market leading up to that. So it might be the best decision for us to just kind of sit on the sidelines. Just kind of let other people get manipulated in this market, and just keep your profits. Right? If you followed my trades today, if that's what you did, you should be in profit. There's no way you should be in the red right now. If that's you, either way, just don't let the market manipulate you. Just wait for setups. Remember, post or pre FOMC is going to be a little crazy. So we did just displace that 1 minute bullish breaker. We're still in the 5 minute. Still in this 5 minute. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to look for anything right now. Obviously shorts are looking like they're trying to really push through right now. I think I might low-key just kind of sit and watch, and let the market do its thing. Yeah, the 5 minute breaker. So we have this 5 minute breaker here, bullish breaker. Our highest up close candle right on that first move. So I'm kind of looking here. That's that 5 minute breaker, right? We do have this 5 minute order block overlapping. So this is where I'd want to see price continue to the upside. This is where I'd want to see a bounce. So longs could be pretty good from here. But, you know, I just don't want to get trapped in any kind of fake out where we have all this bearish momentum, you know, trying to push us down through this 5-minute breaker. Right, that's why you kind of see me not taking any trades right now. Just because we're doing a lot of up and down stuff. You know, every 1-minute candle is pretty choppy so far. Thanks, Enrique. Well, I'm glad, man. That makes me happy. I appreciate that. That's what I'm here for. That makes me very happy to hear that, man. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Remember, you always have to put in the work for yourself, and it sounds like you're doing that, so that's awesome. Yeah, bullish breaker and bearish breaker, I use the wicks. So it's from the top wick down to the bottom. Top wick. Okay, those longs are starting to step in off that 5-minute, off that bullish breaker here. Longs are starting to get a little bit of momentum here. 1-minute displacement could be key. I forget who was asking me, but this would be an inverse fair value gap right here, guys. This right here is an inverse fair value gap. So do we notice how this was a bullish fair value gap and then price pushed below, disrespecting it? This now turns into an inverse. And look at that reaction we're getting off that inverse right now. Right? That became an inverse fair value gap after it got displaced. Price just traded back into it, and look at that. That's actually kind of funny, right as I pointed it out. We see that crazy reaction off of it. Alright, so this would be a 5-minute IFVG. Right, so like there's a lot of fake outs going on right now, right? A lot of up and down. A lot of stuff going on. You know, we're looking very bearish overall, like I said, but we're still in these bullish, right? These support levels, just kind of keeping me from wanting to short this just yet. But yeah, this 5-minute looks pretty bearish here. 15-minute looks pretty bearish. 1 minute's looking pretty bearish. Yeah, I just don't want to get caught up in these fake outs and this up and down price action. Just kind of sitting here on the sidelines, letting it do its thing. Okay, so let's say this 1 minute displaces this low here, forming this little 1 minute order block, touching to this fair value gap. This might be a good entry in the shorts, actually. This could be a pretty solid entry in the shorts. We just haven't displaced yet, so it's more aggressive, right? This would be a more aggressive entry in the shorts because we haven't displaced this low down here. But like, let's say we get a strong reaction off this 1 minute fair value gap. I might get a little aggressive, but not until I actually see that happen, right? Because look what's going on here. We do have this 1 minute, little 1 minute order block we're trying to form. All right, but we haven't displaced yet. So yeah, I haven't entered anything. Okay, I just got an entry, guys. I just got an entry, expecting us to displace pretty hard here. There we go. Look at that entry. Oh my gosh. I didn't even have time to even sell for profit. Oh geez. Okay. That was a crazy wick down. If you want to just move your stop to break even, you can. That was insane. Right after I got the entry, we just dropped very aggressively. I haven't even had time to place a stop loss. Honestly, I just had like a 30 tick stop just above this, but that's a crazy wick down. I might even just get out of this. I just got out at break even, guys. I just got out at break even. I'm out. That was insane. Wow. Okay. So we didn't displace. We didn't displace. That was insane. Literally got in. Right as I say I get in, it drops 50 ticks and wicks right back up before I even have time to think. Right? And we didn't displace, so now I'm like, I just wanted to get out at break even there. We're still dropping here. So, you know, if you did want to hold this trade, you could keep a stop just above this 1 minute order block and continue to hold these shorts if you want. I don't know if anybody's still holding these, but you could try to hold them all the way down, try to break this 5 minute fair value gap down here. That was crazy. I literally didn't have any time to even think about selling any of my position. I didn't even get to add into a full. But that's alright. Break even on that. No worries there. Pretty good entry though. Yeah, we're looking pretty bearish though, guys. We're looking pretty bearish. If you're holding this, you could try to hold through the 5 minute fair value gap here. You know, you could try to hold all the way back down to these lows. Oh wow, look at that, guys. Anybody still holding this? Anybody still holding this? That's 87, 86 ticks from where I called it out. There we go. Okay, there we go. We got people holding. Like I said, you know, if we displace this 5 minute fair value gap, you know, you could hold all the way back down to these lows here. But you want to wait for displacement. You know, have that stop at break even. Definitely take some profit at this point. Definitely take some profit at this point. Pretty solid entry there though. But yeah, after seeing that wick back up, I was like, I'd rather just get out at break even. So we've got 1 minute left on this 5 minute candle. If we displace this fair value gap, yeah, we're going to go to the lows. We'll probably drop pretty far. So we'll see what happens here. We will see what happens. Yeah, so if you're still holding this, like I said, this 5 minute right here will be key. If we drop right now, I think we're going to keep dropping all the way down. We'll probably take out this low. This was my original, that low that I had from my original trade. About 8 seconds left here on this 5 minute. Let's see if we can displace. Oh yeah, that's some displacement if I've ever seen it. Yeah, if you're still holding this, I would continue to hold. Personally, I would keep holding this. If I was still in this trade, I would have sold for profit and I would still be holding some runners right now. But I'm not in the trade, right? So 5 minute inverse fair value gap could be another entry here. 5 minute inverse fair value gap here could be another entry. But I don't know if I would take this entry. I'm not going to take this entry. Probably wait for a little bit of retracement. So now that bullish breaker is completely gone. Right, did we close below that bullish breaker? Yeah, we closed below the breaker. So now maybe wait for some retracement, see if we get another entry here. See if we get another entry. Okay, I want to see us, you know, maybe get a little bit more retracement before I look for entry here. What time is it? Oh, this could be some ICT silver bullet, actually. You're actually very right. You're actually very right here. That could be our liquidity grab before we go up for the highs. We got such strong displacement here that, man, I just, after seeing that move, I don't know if I even want to think about longs. All right, but if this is silver bullet, then we just grab that liquidity, then we're probably going to come up and target this liquidity up here. I forgot that it's 11:30 right now. Yeah, so we are in silver bullet hour right now, 11 to 12 Eastern. But again, we're so bearish. We'll see what happens. We're kind of forming this 15-minute fair value gap up here. 5-minute fair value gap up here. So yeah, we got some levels here. All right, what time was this liquidity grab? Interesting. Interesting. One sec, guys. It's getting way too hot in my room right now. I have a sweatshirt on. I'm gonna put on a t-shirt real quick. Okay, I step away for a second and this thing just pumps to the moon. Look at that. Crazy. So if we look at the 15-minute, we obviously didn't displace these lows down here. But yeah, it's very erratic price action. That's why I've been looking for very specific entries. And that entry we took was honestly perfect, but just that wick back up ended up stopping me out. So, but yeah, with this erratic price action, I'm looking for very specific entries. Not looking to take many risky trades here, right? But if this is silver bullet, we're gonna push all the way up for these highs, right? After taking sell side, now we target opposing liquidity at buy side. That's silver bullet in a nutshell. Man, after displacing this bullish fair value gap, you know, I really expected us to try to push back up. Or to continue down. But that's some crazy bullish price action here. So we have this little 1-minute fair value gap, 1-minute order block. So during silver bullet, price will take out liquidity on one side, and then it will go target liquidity on the opposing side. So like we see, we came down and took out sell side here. We took out this low right here. We didn't take out it doesn't have to be our external liquidity, it could be internal. It's just opposing liquidity, right? So now we could probably target this high up here. Yeah, of course. But in terms of entries, you know, I'd be waiting for retracement down here. Maybe this fair value gap order block, you know, if I was going to go long. But yeah, this price action's all over the place. So I'm not really feeling a need to get in a trade, right? But if we're offered with a good setup, I'll take it. So like say we come down into this 1 minute, get a reaction off, maybe we touch into this order block down here. Maybe we could catch a good long, you know, targeting this buy side up here. But obviously you've seen we've taken a long, we've taken a short, now we're looking long. It's kind of all over the place today. But we've still taken 2 solid trades. Technically 2 winning trades if I would have sold for profit, but I didn't sell, so it was a break-even trade. So, alright, but this would be that move targeting this buy side up here. If we could get retracement, you know, we could get a good entry. We will see what happens. And with price action right now, we very well could just dump right through all these levels and disrespect them, right? We're kind of all over the place. Kind of all over the place right now. So that's why I'm being very, very, very patient here. Looking for very specific entries. Not forcing anything. Pretty much every time pre-FOMC, we see pretty rough price action, yeah. Okay, look at this order block we just formed. Look at that bounce we got from the order block. Yeah, that's another, like, right, this is another one of my favorite entries to take, remember. But 5-minute inverse fair value gap that we bounced off before, we just saw a strong reaction from that level again. Right, so thanks, man. Appreciate that. Let's see if we get a reaction off this 1 minute OB here. Or if we just kind of come back down off this 5-minute inverse and try to push back down. No, I'm not in a trade right now. Not currently. Not currently. You know, it's looking like we're trying to push through. Because we formed it after getting strong momentum and then we displaced very aggressively. Look how we displaced aggressively this 1 minute order block. That's why I love these little 1 minute order blocks that we, on these breakout moves, on these expansion moves, because we often see very strong reactions from them. If we displace from it, very, you know, good displacement candle, you know, we retrace into it, could be a good entry. Could be a good entry. Remember, we still have this 5-minute inverse, so we're kind of struggling at that level. That's what's holding me from getting in this trade right now. But we look like we're about to pump here. So let's see. I think we're gonna pump from this level. Now my entry's a little too high up here. This inverse fair value gap's kind of holding us right now. It's kind of keeping us down. Oh, 1 minute order block here as well. Yeah, I'd want to keep my stop below this order block. Let's see what happens. Way too aggressive right now for me to even to long. Too aggressive. Not going to get in the longs right now. Not just yet. Not until I see a good reaction. Okay, I just got a half a lot entry in the longs there, guys. Half a lot entry in the longs. 17.7, 16.25. 17.7, 16.25. Remember, we're really going to have to pump through this 5-minute inverse here. But my stop loss is only going to be 35 ticks, just below this order block. So I'm not risking too much. 17.707.50 will be my stop. 35 tick stop with half a lot. So I'm not risking too much on this trade. Plus the reward is pretty high on this one. But remember, we really got to push through this 5-minute inverse, but I love that we wicked down. I love that we bounced off this 1-minute order block. So now I just want to see that kind of follow through come into play here. If we start to bounce again, I'll add into a full. But not just yet, guys, because this is still a little bit erratic. That's why I have a 35 tick stop. I'm not risking too much here. Yeah, I'm trying to target that buy side liquidity up top. So if we start to pump into profit a little bit, I'll add into a full position. Just waiting for that to happen. Waiting for that to happen. We're just kind of chilling around break even. We're really struggling at that 5-minute inverse, but I think we can push through that level. And the thing is, I can wait for a pump to get into full because my stop loss will still not be very much, even if my break even moves up. So that's why I'm willing to wait. That's why I'm willing to wait to see this pump before I enter into a full position. Just because that inverse is really keeping us down right now. Right, but I love that we wicked down and we started to pump from this level. 1-minute order block. I still see the potential in this trade. So we'll see if we get the bounce. You know, with this erratic price action, we might see a little bit. We might see us come back down. Let's see what happens here. Kind of all over the place. We're kind of chopping. Man, if we break structure to the upside, I think we'll pump all the way to the highs. But we really gotta start pumping here. That's not what we want to see. We don't want to see that. We want to see us go up, not down. Up, not down. They're not listening to me. I'm telling them to go up and they're going down. What's up with that? What's up with that? Oh man, we're coming down close to my stop. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's see what happens. I mean, guys, you can see kind of this volatility right now. We're a little all over the place. About to get stopped. About to get stopped. All right, I'm out. I'm out. So that 5-minute inverse held so strong there. 5-minute inverse held very strong. Okay, so I'm pretty close to break even here. I'm only up like 10 bucks on each account, okay, with those losses. But I'm still, you know, I'm okay with ending the day break even if need be, right? Look at that bounce off the 1 minute. But what I won't let happen ever is for me to continue to overtrade and take bad setups, and then I end up way in the red because of that, right? But you know, I wanted to test this out, so I'm okay with being, you know, around break even on the day. That's all right. Still got this count up pretty good, right? But the worst thing you could do is allow yourself to continue to overtrade, trying to make those profits back, and then you end up being down a few $100 instead of just being around break even, right? So like both of my accounts are 10 bucks in profit, so I consider that break even. Oh my gosh, my voice crack. I consider that break even. But yeah, this price action's a little too up and down for me right now. A little too up and down for me. We'll see. This was that original entry I was looking for off this 1 minute fair value gap order block, but we are just so all over the place. like this candle here tells me long, long, long. Bounce off fair value gap, bounce off order block. Right, but just our price action today. It's not been great. Like this 1 minute time frame, it tells me longs are going to step in here. Right, and they're starting to. They're starting to. But there's just too much going on here. Especially if we come down, like you said, if we do displace this hourly candle to the downside, then we will continue down. Right, but just that silver bullet is what was keeping me, you know, kind of wanting to see those longs step back in. But we're still ranging, guys, so I might just call it there, you know. I might call it there. No, I haven't, you know, no loss on the day. You know, I'd rather walk away just kind of around break even than probably try to keep trading this stuff. This is not my favorite price action to trade here. Right, but yeah, I mean, we focused on our managing our risk. I was willing to let this one come back to break even, you know, on the day to try to catch a few more trades. Didn't happen. That's all right. So it is what it is. Still not a losing day, so I'm happy. All right, but yeah, this kind of price action, I think I'm going to step away from for the rest of the day. I'm not going to trade anymore. I would definitely say, whether you're green or red, maybe just kind of step away for the rest of the day. Take a break. This isn't too fun. This isn't too fun. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for joining up. Overall, still a decent session. I'm still calling it a green session because I'm up 20 bucks technically. All right, so it's still a winning session. You guys better not call me out on that one. We didn't lose. Remember, don't focus on the dollar amount. Alright, guys. Well, I really appreciate you all. A lot of sessions today. I need to rest my voice. Been talking a lot. You guys can hear my voice cracks. It's starting to get a little scratchy. I'm gonna drink some water. Take a break from talking. Yes, thank you, AZ Sunshine. Hot lemon and that's the best combo right there. Oh, look at that drop. All right, guys, don't be tempted. Don't be tempted to keep trading if you want to be done. Just call it a day with tequila. Cinco de Mayo isn't till Sunday, right? It's not till Sunday. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Tuesday. I'll keep you updated on what the schedule is going to look like tomorrow. I'm not going to trade FOMC. Maybe we'll take a break tomorrow. Maybe I'll hop on for a session. I'm going to kind of look at our schedule, and I'm going to keep you updated on what that's going to look like tomorrow. So just be ready for an announcement today, and I'll let you guys know what that's going to look like. All right, guys. God bless everybody. Enjoy your day. Peace.